Happy Sunday morning, or whatever it is
Or
to
whatever
everyone.
day.
Whatever it is to you.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, you know who had a great name for a show? You were watching him last night. He's a singer from a band. Joey, maybe his name is.
Oh, Joey McIntyre.
His name of his show. I like the name of his show.
Whatever day it is. Is that what it was called?
Something like that. Yeah, shout out. I love that name. It's a great name.
Yeah.
So whatever day it is to you.
Yeah.
This show, I already know off the bat, is called Keeping It Real.
I don't know what he's going to say.
We happen to have the equipment set up. I probably just was about to tear it down or thinking about tearing it down. Because we set a time when we do a show. We're like, we're going to do a show, and then we sit up for it. And
Yeah, it's usually like a Friday evening, got a little beverage going on.
yeah, it's like we get dressed because we're hanging out for the day, and you're making drinks, and it's that time in the evening when we're going to hang out with each other. So it's like a certain scene, you know? But now, this is keeping it real. Like, it's Sunday morning. I'm doing work outside. We had breakfast. I didn't really like, this is me. This is like a realer version of me, you could say.
Yeah, well, it's not in task mode. It's just, okay, let's stop what we're doing for the day, because you were in the middle of like building a structure outside to house wood, to be like, hey, let's come together and hang out Sunday. I keep wanting to say it's Sunday morning, but it's actually almost noon, and just hang out and see what's going on. Check in.
Would you like to have a drink with me, and then we'll come back? Want to pour a drink and we'll come back?
I would love to add some Frangelico, I think, maybe, but to my chai tea. But I could whip up a beverage if you're looking for a beverage.
No, let's not go big. You mentioned Frangelico for your drink, and I would love to have a scotch.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be back. For
Be
you,
right
we'll
back.
be back in 2 seconds.
Welcome back.
Oh, so cheers. Oh, tomorrow's Memorial Day, so my gratitude, my thanks to all those who died in service and who gave a part of themselves in service even. Thank you all.
Agreed. Thank you.
We
It's a
wouldn't be
nice
sitting
sentiment.
here free today without them.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. Cheers to all of you.
Cheers. I'd like to preface this by saying it may seem like we drink a lot,
Do you feel like you need to?
but
This is great.
I need to clear the air here.
You feeling judged? Do you feel like there's people out there
Being judged.
maybe thinking things?
Maybe.
You're addressing them.
Maybe.
Okay.
So we always open with a beverage, and it's fun. And I think how many times a week do we drink? I'd say twice a week. And
Yeah, I was going to say twice a week. If we wrote down on cards and flipped up the cards.
Yeah, twice
both
a
would
week.
have been
We'd
two.
win.
Yeah.
We'd win. It's like, what is that, the newlywed game?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we happen to always drink when we're doing a show because
Yeah.
it's fun.
And I just want to say, it's only one beverage. We don't, after we're done with a show, I don't whip up another beverage. Like, we're
Although we
one
want
drink.
to.
I know. It's like, we want to be really fun, but wipe me off the floor. Like, so.
So do you feel better now? I'm curious. You've aired it out for the audience, for those who may have been thinking things. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm just setting the playing field here.
Do you feel better that you've said
I
something?
I do feel better.
Good. I'm
And with
glad.
that being said, I've added some Frangelico to my Starbucks chai tea latte with almond milk. And it's delightful.
I bet it is. That's a great combination.
Uh-huh.
I'm drinking, I think it's made by Bacardi. It's a scotch. It's delicious. And John Vito, thanks again.
So it's a sensible noontime drink to have.
Yes, it is. And I'm glad it was noon because I would have had a drink even if it was 11 or some other hour.
It didn't
but
matter.
Noon made me feel okay with the audience.
Oh, good. So I'm glad we're airing out just like...
What we're doing is keeping it real. I want to keep it real. Do you know how you watch reality shows and you can see the reality in them, but you know there's so much around them that it makes them not reality anymore? I want this to be a reality show. I think that's part of why I wanted to do the show this morning. We're not in a certain mode of ourselves where we're dressed a certain way, and then it's Sunday morning. You know, it's like I want to keep it realer.
Okay.
So
here we are
Here
in
we
all
are.
of our realness.
So we do a show whenever we're striked to do a show, whether we're in whatever state we're in. I may have stuff in my teeth. Do I have stuff in my teeth?
Nope, you don't.
Does everybody out there do that? Do you have? I hope everyone out there has someone in their life that you can show your teeth to.
Yeah.
It's important.
It is important because not everyone will tell you when you have something in your teeth. I'm the type of person that I will, because I think it's important, because I've been in the situation where I've had a conversation with somebody and then went to the bathroom or something and looked in the mirror and was like, son of a bitch.
It's like clear. It wasn't on the side.
Yeah.
And maybe
Yeah,
you
you
saw
didn't
it. Like,
tell
you
me.
know, they were looking at it the whole time. Like, who?
Yeah. And then I'll call the person on it after I see them and be like, I had something in my teeth. You didn't even say anything.
You gotta let them know.
So
where you
then
stand.
next time,
Yep.
say
I'll
something.
Yep. Agreed. I too, because I want, this is part of keeping it real. Keeping it real. I want someone to tell me if I have food in my teeth, and I will tell someone. And it's always on. I'll air it out. It's always a little uncomfortable telling, because the first reaction is the same reaction you have, like, oh,
Yeah.
So you're causing that by telling them, but that totally trumps them finding out later that I thought Kurt was a cool guy, but he let me talk to him for 5 minutes with stuff in my teeth. He's obviously not a cool guy.
Yeah. What about your nose? Like, you tell people when there's stuff in their nose?
Anything.
Yeah.
Well, if it's something where you noticed it because you like dipped your head down, I may not tell them, because it's like, I'm not really seeing it. Now am I just, and you got, wait, hold on. Sorry. You got something in your tooth. It's off to the side. I can't really see it. You have maybe a booger, or it's maybe just a gray hair. You may want to check that out. I can only see it when I go like this. And just while you're at it, you might as well check your ears too, because I'm imagining if you have this going on and this going on, that you probably also have something going on in your ears. I at least noticed one hair growing out of your ears. I know that's an optional thing, but you may want to look at that. Is that too much? And you may want to look at that too. Just saying, because we're friends, right? We're cool. I'm keeping it real with you.
Wow. I know you were painting a scenario, but it really felt like I could have been on the receiving end of that. And I'm like, I don't have gray hair. I don't have hair in my ears. So I just reminded myself, he's not talking to you.
Oh, good. That brought you more comfort.
But yeah, is that too much? A little bit.
So yeah, do I tell somebody about something in their nose was the related point, bringing it back.
Yeah, if it's
If
obvious.
it's obvious. I'm not going to go like, then you're off.
I'm going to go rooting around.
That's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
So that's part of keeping it real. Other ways we keep it real. Little keeps it real. It's like, hey, I brought this mouse for you.
Yeah.
I love you. I killed this, and I'm going to bring it on the bed. I'm about to bring it on the bed. Is that cool, Mom and Dad? I haven't kept it alive. And I'm going to wait for the final kill when I bring it on the bed, because I'm bringing it to you. That's Little's keeping it real with us.
Thank God
like,
he's never made it onto the bed. Like, it's one of those things where it's always in the middle of the night, and it's like this, I don't know.
You have a seventh sense. You have
Yeah.
a seventh sense.
I sit up in bed immediately, and the light goes on, and I'm right. There's something in his mouth. And then
Alive or dead, you kind of have a sense. I mean, when you hear a squeak, squeak, squeak.
I heard that outside, and then I heard the flap in the door, and I'm like, he's coming in with something.
Yeah.
And that was at like 4 a.m. But I sit up, and I'm like, ah! And so then you get on it. It's great. It's a great system. It works really well for me.
So that's the way you're keeping it real. I'm letting my husband know, like,
there's something that needs to be taken care of
immediately. I don't care if it's 3.
Yeah, no, there's no such thing as time.
I don't
when
care
that
if it's
happens.
5:36 in the morning. I'm getting up. Doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. Certain things, time doesn't matter.
That's one of them. Or like, when you have a dog and you hear that sound, it's the I'm about to puke, and you just get to a non-carpet surface. If you can't make it outdoors, at least make it to a non-carpet surface.
It's funny. I hate that this is true. This is keeping it real. I'm going to call it out. I feel like my first instinct is to get them to a safe, easy to clean area.
Yes.
And then my immediate second instinct is, oh, how you doing? Like to comfort. Like, is it? No, I guess that's instinct. Like you got to go for safety first.
Well, yeah.
And then you comfort. Like if I saw you like about to puke and you were in such a state that you couldn't even make your body move to get to a facility, like
that's called assistance. That comes before comfort.
That's kind of like you mask yourself first before you mask others in the airplane. You get the person to safety and then you comfort them. All right, I almost felt bad. Like, shouldn't you meet your animal with comfort first? Like, oh, you're a little sick. Let's walk you over to not the emergency. Let's go.
Yeah. The clock is ticking.
You know
when that happens.
That only speaks to my inability to handle cleaning up pukey wetness, and so I want to avoid that at all costs, even at the point of delaying my compassion for like 10 seconds.
It's another way to put it. I like the other way. It's less graphic and it seemed a little nicer. But it's a good visual. Good.
Just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real.
So, I mean, is there anything that you have a sense? So, like, I have the sense of animal-related disturbances. Like, do you have like a sense that it's like...
I have a seventh sense for injustice, I think. And it takes a while for my brain to catch up. It's like there's some kind of vibe of when something doesn't ring true. And I have a sense of that. It jars me, and it sometimes takes me days to be like, why'd that freak me out? Why'd that bother me? So I know that's not funny nonsense, but that's keeping it real.
But you do have a sense of injustice. But I think that also ties back to some of your karmic cords that you need to cut in terms of, like letting stuff go. We talked about this before, like with driving and, like... I should
just basically have infinite patience. This is all you got to do. This is all you got to do, everyone. The formula's simple. Infinite patience for everyone at all times.
Easy. First of all, that's easy. So easy. Yeah. Easy. Right.
Living in the moment, just letting everything go. Just letting everything go. It's easy. It's easy. That's it. I know.
I mean, do that, you're golden.
You're golden. Easy. Have we, is this one run its course? So you want to sit for a moment, just relax, and then see if anything else comes up? Or I'd be happy. I feel like we presented a valid topic.
Some good banter.
Yeah, keeping and what are you doing to make sure you're keeping it real? Where aren't you? Let's go. I want to go one more place.
Uh-oh.
Where's a border of you not keeping it real where you want to keep it real more? Or a recent example of how you turn that corner. I like that. It's a little gift. For Bo, I want to hear your story, and I'd like to share whatever my story is. Is that a good parting gift?
Okay. I mean, is it fun and funny? Not really.
Let's keep it fun and funny. Whatever we talk about, it should be nonsensical, because that's the best way to look at anything anyway, because then it makes it not so serious. And nothing's really that serious. It's more because, what's serious? Living in the moment. That's serious. Anything else you're thinking, you might think is serious, but is it? Too much? Not enough? Discuss.
You just have a lot to say. You have a lot to say on the matter. It's like, yeah, just woo, wind me up and go.
So, getting back to the point, I like the wind up motion because that reminds me of reel it in. Let's get to the point. A time each. Let's make it pick a humorous one. This is nonsense.
I was willing to help you do stuff in the yard, and I'm not a person that likes to really. I'm not a yard person. I don't do that gardening and stuff. I don't know. It's just kind of a thing. I don't feel passionate about it. But like I like to do flowers. I'll plant flowers and whatever. So I said, and we have stuff under the deck that could be moved. So I also like to pick things up and put them down.
You really do.
Yeah, I enjoy it. But you asked me to dig out like the raspberry bushes to put them somewhere else. And I hated that task. It was like filing. So today you're saying, I'm like, what can I do to help? And so there's some replanting that needs to happen. And replanting is probably one of my least favorite things to do in the yard. But I'm trying to psych myself up to see if I could maybe find some enjoyment in it. How's that?
I think it's wonderful. And part of me makes me want to be like, if you don't like doing it, don't do it. Like, I want to root for you on that end. So, yeah. I want to know what you really want. This is keeping it real. This is an edge. I want to know what you really like. Yeah, it's sometimes nice to extend because you want to try to extend. But then sometimes it's nice, right on the edge of that. Or is it nice that I'd be like, you know what, I really don't enjoy it. Like, which way do you really want to go? Do you really want to go this way? Or would you rather go this way?
I have a different way even. I have a way that it would be just being outside, but doing something that brought a little bit more enjoyment, but would also be helpful to you.
I have a pick things up and put things down literal task for you.
I'm in. Nice.
Great. See, I'm glad you spoke up. See, it was a live on the edge of keeping it real.
Yeah. I hope it was entertaining and fun and so funny. I bet that was friggin' hilarious. Woo! Now I get to pick things up and put them down.
I think if you can ever say pick things up and put things down in a sentence, on some level, that is always funny. And probably will be for years to come.
Yes.
Everyone loves to pick things up and put things down. Everyone loves that. Sorry.
And if you don't, you've been living under a rock. No.
So, Little, did you want to go next? No. He just wants to listen.
No, he's chill. What about you? Make sure it's fun and funny.
Oh, the pressure.
There's humor in everything.
It's fun and funny. It's easy to be fun and funny about something that happened in the past. I got hit in the head with that thing and it almost cracked my skull open. But to take something in the moment and about you, that's something you're overcoming. You're getting over your ego on it. You're getting on the other side of it. And making it funny. You know who could do that really well? I bet rappers, people who rap, because I feel like in the rap battle, somebody's gonna come at you with something where they know it's your nerve, and if you can then take it and twist it around and use it on that, like they have it where they could take something about themselves and make it funny. I bet
or real, maybe not necessarily funny.
Well, it's the first level of it. It's like graduate level is keeping it real and being on top of it, and then graduate level, like, did I just say graduate level twice?
Yeah, there's a graduate level and then there's a graduate level.
It's 2 levels. Thanks for clarifying. The 2 levels.
Yeah.
And
they're different. They're different.
The graduate plus level or the PhD level, because then I went too high. Good thing I didn't start at PhD. How do you go above PhD? PhD squared? Whatever.
Guru.
Getting off topic. Is turning something humorous. Like turning it real without it banging you up too much in the moment. Like I could bring up something and be like, yeah, and I gotta get over, and I'm like getting over it, but it's like heavy, and I'm like crying a little. Or you can like talk about it real, like, hey, yeah, I don't really want to do the
I always go for that approach. I like that approach.
I'm trying to shoot for humor lately, where I can get on the other side of myself with humor, because I feel like that's even a more on the other side of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
It's
lighter.
Like
it's another step up. So I'm like, person's, and I gotta call myself out.
Yeah, here we go.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
Wow, did I just set myself up?
Yeah.
Dick. Set myself up.
You just screwed yourself.
Totally screwed myself.
Oh, hands on your hips. I'm ready.
This was hard for me. This is my personal experience of it. It almost, when I talk about it, it's going to sound like it wasn't about me, but this was about me for me.
Sounds pretty heavy.
And it's so crazy how it related to our episodes. When we did the episode on corporate culture, what did we call that episode? I'll fit it in if we can't remember. Let's not thinking about it. But Jen and I discussed corporate culture. That Job, the musical.
Yeah.
We talk about corporate culture. I had a meeting in my company, rando, Zoom meeting, and we never have like big company get-together meetings. And it was about corporate culture, like within a week. And I was like, what is going on?
That's weird. That was weird.
So I really paid attention to it because, wow, I just talked about companies talking about corporate culture. And here's my company talking about corporate culture. Go my company. Ahead of the curve there, I believe. Very good. So one of the things I got over years ago that I got on the other side of being real is I used to have work version of me and then real version of me. And they weren't the same people. This is work, Kurt. He acts like this. And then there's real me, which was just like to be an idiot and joke around.
This is you. This is the real you.
This is the real me. So, and
Why
then,
can't it be that guy all the time?
well, I heard you one of two ways. Can I tell you the two ways I heard you? And did anyone else hear this? One, why can't I be that guy all the time? Or two, I heard you, why do you got to be that guy all the time?
No, it wasn't that one.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That would be awful.
Not if it was joking. You could pull it off.
No.
Dave Chappelle can say anything in any way. And just because he's Dave Chappelle, people will laugh. Because they know anything he said is said with a spirit of humor. So you can say anything if you... the Dave Chappelle guru school of saying anything humorously. That should be a college master's level program.
Wow, that was big.
Him and Jane Austen would have got along great. They would have thought each other were hysterical. In fact, I'm going to write a movie with you when we retire, and we're going to mix Jane Austen and Dave Chappelle coming together. Even if they're good friends, buddies, or if it's a love interest. I don't care, but them two together in a movie is gold.
It's a good idea. Agree? It's like Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg, which is now so like, oh, we know that they're all besties. And
that was a genius pairing.
That's so I like cool. The idea of
thank you
Dave Chappelle and Jane Austen.
And thanks for pointing it out. No doubt that Martha Stewart and Snoop inspired that idea in my head. No doubt. Love it. So it's easy to laugh about things from the past. So me becoming myself in my job I did that one day. I was like, I'm just gonna be myself from now on. So that was one edge. So now my current one is corporate culture. And I like to go to work and give all of myself at work. But then that's it. I don't like to do work get-togethers. I like everyone a lot. And if I'm in front of someone, I want to be real and connect with that person where they are in that moment, where I am in my moment. That's what I have to give. But I don't have anything to give outside of that. I have so much going on in my life. I don't. Is this funny? This is great.
Woo, time out.
Time out.
Take a sip. All right, let's go back to the shenanigans. Gearing up for the finale.
So I'm glad I called myself out. Well, I'm so rough. So rough with myself today. Whose side am I on? How am I not being myself? How am I not being myself? How am I not being myself? Meryl Streep. Devlin gets credit for that one. The Meryl Streep. So I'm having a corporate culture meeting and people talking about what they want, what they don't want, what they like about the company. And I had a company where you had your full-time job and then there was the full-time other activities related to work that if you didn't go to, there was like a mark or a note or you knew it was affecting you. So it was like having two jobs, and I hated that. And I still never went to anything, and I knew every time I didn't, it was a mark against me. I gotta be me. I gotta be me.
Yeah.
So now we're having a corporate culture meeting, and I'm like, I love the corporate culture of this company. I feel like you guys have things, but I never feel any pressure to go, and it makes me so happy. I love that you have things, and I know it's an option, and I know if I don't,
thanks for not letting me be a joiner.
Yeah, it's not. Nobody's holding it against me. Thank you for seeing that these things are optional. I really appreciate that. So now we just had a water cooler thing, a get together, and I like everyone. If I saw anyone, if I know you, I like you. I like everyone in my company. If I'm across from you,
we get it.
I want to talk to you. But I don't want to hang out at a water cooler meeting. And so I didn't go. And it's keeping it real with myself.
Am I being judged? Am I being judged?
But they're I want to explain the drinking. I see you judging me. I want to explain why I didn't go to the water cooler meeting. It's not that I don't love you all. I'm an introvert and I don't have any time. And it's like I can joke about it, but it was a thing for me. And it's me being real with myself and getting on the other side of myself. And I'm on the other side, but it's still like it's like a seesaw. The other side's lighter than me, but he's trying to kick his legs down and get his side to go down. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And, if there's more water cooler meetings, because who knows, is this the beginning of maybe we'll make this monthly. Then you'll start to see maybe, people, well, you don't go, so you won't really ever know. But I imagine they'll start to see attendance decline because that's people figuring out the culture and figuring out, is it cool to not participate if I am engaged in other stuff.
And what's great? Then that leaves the people at the water cooler meeting who really want to be there, and it's almost like a benefit to them.
It's good for them.
Yeah,
right.
you're going in half energy because you don't really want to do it, but you're going. Don't go.
Yeah. Let
the people go who want to go, because there are people who like that thing, and go them. Anything you like and you can do it, do it. But if you don't like it, don't do it.
So I think that was a good example of, and you did turn it into something that was hilarious. So funny.
It was probably at least psychologically interesting.
It was humorous at times.
It was good. That was good.
It was a good effort.
Yes, a good effort.
A good effort. I appreciate it.
You do a good English accent.
That's because I was British in a past life.
You are. I think you knew Jane Austen.
I was Jane Austen.
That's bold and saucy.
I'd like to think I was, once at least.
I see how you could have been.
Well, thank you, dear sir. 'Tis much appreciated.
I'll put this as an aside if you don't agree. Can we tell the English accent story?
Which one? I have a couple that got me in trouble.
No, there's one English accent story that got you in trouble.
Yeah.
And there's one that almost got you in trouble, so that was just internally funny.
Yeah, so I know you're going for the kill.
And that's what we like to do on Nonsense. Go for the kill. I'm gonna go for the kill. Chuck, I'm gonna go for the kill on this one. I'm gonna try and diminish Jen's humor by telling something horrible. And if I can wipe that smile off her face or get her not to laugh, I've won.
Yes, it's good. It's a horrifying experience for everyone.
No, I'm only going to ever tell any story if you're I don't mind people telling stories about me.
No, this is a funny one. It is funny. It's friggin' classic me. I think I just can't help but get out the shovel and start digging myself into a hole. And I'm trying to be better about that.
To be fair, this is something I recently did.
Actually, I don't really do that anymore. But there was a time in my life, it was a concentrated period.
But you saw it what was happening, which is both good and horrible. Which is fun and horrible at the same time.
And you know what? There's a time where it's humorous because I will openly acknowledge and call myself out and laugh while doing it.
And
so,
while you're clearly showing your discomfort in all of it, that's genuine. That's keeping it real.
Yeah. So,
in all fairness, you could tell one about me. Devlin told one recently about me. I can't remember it, but if you can remember it, tell it. And he told it at him and Rich's surprise party.
Yeah, I know.
And that was the first public telling of the story.
Yes, it was.
To be fair, you could tell the story about me, right?
I don't know if that's a story that should be aired. I don't know. Is that too soon?
I can't remember the story. So this will be live. We talk about keeping it real. Let's put me to the test. Let's go for it. I'm giving you permission. All right? Let's see how I react. And I'll be honest, if I'm trying to hide like, oh, this is bothering me, I'll be real. All right, this is a test. I called, when you call out, just FYI, for those of you who follow any kind of path, no, when you call out like, I want to do this, the universe or whatever you believe in, the force will answer and put it right before you. And that's just what happened here live. So this is great. So I'm going to tell Jen's story first.
Go for it.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes, if you're from the UK, I don't know what you think about Jen's accent. But for me, when she talks in it, it just melts my heart. I love it. Love it so much. It works enough for me. I like it.
Thank you, sir. I don't know why I sound like a man.
You're not, and I call it out. I know you do it better, but it's a little like you're doing it, and so you're holding back because it's like, I don't really want to do it. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So don't judge her even now on how she's doing it because she's a little shaz, right? Is it all right that I was real about that?
Here we go. You're just dropping them left and right. So let's just keep this train moving.
She didn't say train wreck, so we're good.
Yeah.
That's the difference in like she said train. So
we're still on board. Just busting out these analogies.
Your power meter is still in the green.
Yeah.
Good. Check. Now, if I could just remember what I was talking about, then we can bring it back home.
You're going to tell my story of when I go full accent.
So, we're out to dinner with our nieces, my brother, my sister-in-law. We're busting on Jen on another English accent story where she was about to do an English accent, joking around. Because she thought the person who was talking was doing an English accent, joking around.
So I was going to meet them back with one. And then I realized, no, this person was from the UK. So I didn't. I stopped
Luckily, because had she done it in the manner she was going to do
I would
it.
have mortified my niece in front of her teacher.
And yourself and everyone.
Well, that too. But I would have felt more for like, I didn't want to mortify Peyton.
So we're joking around that story. You probably joked about that story 2 minutes
that's always
after.
been, everybody laughs about that one.
You laughed about that right when it happened because you didn't do anything.
So it was
you
safe.
were about to do something. That's very safe. Mm-hmm. So we're all laughing about that.
And then I bust out my English accent at the table.
Yeah, so because we're just joking about your English accent. So you start talking in the English accent. You're probably doing the scene. I'm the so-and-so. You're doing the scene from that day, like all out English accent. And we're all cracking up. And then I look up and I look at the table next to us and they're kind of looking over and then I'm listening to them talking, and they're all from England.
Oopsies.
And so I knew that they thought maybe that, oh, she's doing an English accent, and we're from England. Like, what's she doing? Like, whatever thoughts go with that. Just that alone. That was, yeah.
Yeah. And you and Victoria knew, and yet watched me go anyway. Because you guys like to see a train wreck. So, but, and then I finally realized it. Like somehow it like kicked in. Like, oh, the people over here, and I'm gonna stop now. And it felt a little uncomfortable, but then we laughed it off and moved on. So it was all good.
You're golden. You're really good. You're very good. I have to ask you. I'm thinking about like in retelling the story. If I'm not me in that story, and I'm just looking at that story objectively, I'm thinking, wow, he was laughing with his niece and not telling his wife what was going on. And I think that was a moment I was having Victoria, judging it like, this is a cool moment I'm having with my niece. Jen's not gonna, she'll be,
Yeah.
I think, so I'm glad that was the fact and I didn't like throw you under the bus. You know what I mean?
You would never throw me under the bus.
Good. I just wanted to clear the air and keep it real on that one. So you keeping it real and laughing about stuff that's real, you pass. Let's see how I do. You think mine's a little too tender vittles. Let's see if it is. Let me get a drink.
Yeah. Okay. So we were at Devlin's surprise birthday party, and we were sitting at a table next to Devlin and then some other people that you knew better than I did, but we all knew each other, and everybody was
everyone
nice
knew everyone.
and cool, and so it was fun. And then Devlin tells the story of how when they went to a restaurant in like Boston, outside of Boston, when you and Devlin and your brother and Eric all went for like boys' weekends to Boston.
Okay. Yeah.
And Kurt, he drank a little too much and didn't really eat, and it was and he was just kind of passed out at the table the whole night and got sick. And the bonus of the whole situation was that it was like our sister-in-law's cousin's restaurant, and it was like a really nice restaurant. And so Kurt embarrassed the whole family, and so it was like a thing. It was a big thing. So, for a while it was a deal. And I know you came home and you felt very bad and stuff like that.
I felt awful.
It was like a crappy situation. But, that happened like, I don't know how many years ago. So like 5 years ago or
3 or 4, 3 to 5.
Something like that. Time, who knows? I don't know why it came up, but Devlin told the story. And when he was telling it, like, we were all laughing. It was pretty funny.
It's a good story.
It was pretty funny. So, I mean, I felt like that was a turning point, perhaps.
Yeah.
So here it is.
This is one of the realest moments probably in the last decade of my life. One of the realest. And what I mean by a real moment to me is your actions are influencing other people in a way that is negative, and it's your negligent fault. Like that scene. Like,
and that's really funny.
And it was negligence. It was, these are the facts. I was real about this when it was happening to me. I took full ownership and responsibility. The second it happened, while I lived it, and every moment afterwards, I've never been delusional about any of it. I was in a little bit of a manic mode because we were having a weekend, boys' weekend, and we always had fun. And I just didn't really eat that day at all. And I was trying to drink like I normally drank back then, which was probably 3, 4, 5 drinks. And which I was probably a little too much, and I probably should have been heading out of that direction. And this was actually the sign that headed me out of that direction. Because if I ate normally, I could handle that, even though I probably shouldn't be drinking that much. That was clear, and it was becoming clear. And I needed to change directions. This was what changed my direction. That was that night. So totally negligent. I take 100% negligent responsibility. And then I couldn't change it once I was sorry about it. And I had to live it. And I was sitting at a table, and if I moved at all, I had the worst spins of my life. The whole world was spinning violently if I
so
moved
awful.
an inch. But if I just sat there and I was very quiet and still,
Yeah.
I was fine.
Not good.
And it took forever to wear off, to the point where I had to be getting up and going. And the idea of all that then got me so nauseous, feeling that even though I didn't eat anything, I threw up a little, not a lot. But if you throw up at all in a restaurant at a table and you're negligent about that, like, God bless you. Be graceful with yourself. Own it as quick as you can and get on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Because you could beat yourself up with that one.
I think
So
so.
I got on that one. I took as much ownership as I could, as fast as I could, and tried to get up on the other side of it as fast as I could, because I saw it every second. Oh, the mercy of if I felt ill and then passed out, that would have been mercy. But to sit there fully aware of who I am, where I am, what I'm doing, and the impact of other people around. Like, you don't wanna,
that's like a version of hell.
you don't want to live that hell. So I could laugh about that one the day after, because I owned it as much as I could immediately.
Mm-hmm. So we went from opening the episode with "we don't really drink" to ending it with "back in the day I could drink like 3, 4, 5 drinks, but then I had this defining moment, and now we're down. This is why we're down to 1."
And
drink.
And you wanted to know why we're down to 1? We got to explain
This
if
guy.
we have more than 1. It happens. I know the guy. He's got 2 thumbs. And I know the guy.
He's got 2 thumbs.
I know this guy.
Well,
So,
it's been fun hanging with you.
it's been fun
I had
hanging
to
with
switch
you.
up to some
Non-alcoholic drink. Agreed.
non-alcoholic. So we hope that you've had, I don't even know. Hope so much for you and your happiness.
You just had so much hope you didn't know how to phrase it. That's a lot. That's beautiful.
Anyway, thanks for hanging with us.
Till next time, everyone. Peace.
Namaste.